Hi everyone, so it's 9:30 on the Saturday, so my time the competition starts at 3 in the morning, so I decided not to stay up. I decided to sleep first and then wake up early, and the theme is minimalism, which was one of my favourite ones that I saw in the voting stage, so I'm really happy with that because obviously it leaves it really open. And you don't have to do complicated graphics, and that's actually something I was considering doing this time anyway, regardless of what the theme was going to be. I was going to do something with like minimalist graphics with just a box and stuff, so if the theme's actually minimalism, that's really cool. So I was just looking at what some other people are doing though, which I usually avoid doing, but I'm pretty sure I know what my idea is going to be. So people are, most people seem to have the right kind of idea. There seems to be, oh actually I shouldn't do this because I don't want to call out actual individual people. So I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't actually call out specific examples. But I can't help feeling that some people think that anything with just anything with pixel graphics counts as minimalism, because I don't think it personally. I don't think it does. Not in the true spirit of minimalism. And there's lots of people. What I just said might give the impression I think the same, but I'll explain I don't in a second. But lots of people seem to think that it is just about the graphics. So even people who are doing minimalist graphics seem to. I've seen some people type like, "Oh, it doesn't really matter what I do as long as the graphics are simple, then it's minimalism." And I think that's kind of not being very imaginative, and really the actual gameplay itself should be minimalist. So the first idea that came to mind was a platformer where you're just one pixel, but I can't help feeling that someone else is bound to do that as well. And then I was thinking, what if I did an RPG? And I scrolled through seeing what other people, if anyone else is doing RPGs. And there's a couple of people doing RPGs, but they seem to be taking the same approach of, I saw one person doing like a reverse RPG where you lose levels as you go forward, which is something I've thought about in the past. In general, would be a really good RPG format. But that's not what I'm going to, because it gradually gets harder because you have less skills and stuff. But that's not what I'm going to do today. But that's quite a cool idea. But yeah, quite a few people doing RPGs, but they seem to just be apart from that one I've read so far, they seem to be taking the approach of just making the graphics simple. And then even just in their little blurb write-up, they're going, oh, and there's going to be like 7 cities and 5 bosses, and you have to collect the pieces of the something or other, and blah blah blah, and all the usual RPG fare. And I'm thinking, that doesn't sound very minimalist, so I think I'm going to take more of an approach of just, kill monster, get loot, kill monster, get loot, rest, kill monster, get loot, and I'll keep it as that. And it might have a tiny bit of exploration around each dungeon, but I'm thinking I might not even have that. I might just have the exploration is unnecessary because it just says next room, keeps it minimalist that way. So I'll see. I'll get coding on it anyway, and I might try and fit it into as small a screen as possible as well. So it's just like a tiny little, call it like mini RPG or something. So it's just like a tiny little screen, and it's just a couple of words, and I squeeze it in as small as I can without being too small, if that makes any sense. But anyway, I'll get to work and I'll see you in a bit, and I'll show you what I've done so far. Hi everyone, so it's 1 hour later at 10:30, so it doesn't look too exciting so far, but I've basically got the file set up, and the title screen does nothing, but I just figured I'd lay it out while I was at it, and but yeah, the file's all set up, and I'm just re-familiarising myself with Flixel, which I am coding the game in, so I will see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's 11:30 now, and I think I'm on track now. I've just had a lot of bother getting buttons to do what I wanted them to do, and then getting random numbers to work, but I've worked out how to do it again now. It's all about, it's a thing with different programming languages, is the different syntax and stuff in different languages and remembering how to do the specific task, and but I figured it out now. And the main thing I wanted to do with the buttons was to get it to change game state, and game states are like, for those of you who don't program, Flixel has a thing called game states where you can program different bits of the game in completely different files. So you might have one file for the menu and one file for the game in a simple game. I might be really sneaky, because it's an RPG. It's going to have various different menus, like a combat screen and maybe an exploration screen. So I might actually do a different state for every one. But a big part of the game, I'm just going to have it clicking on buttons to keep it really simple. So getting buttons to work is a really big deal. A different type of game, I might just be trying to get keyboard input to work, and I could just have press space to start and then press space to jump. In this game, it's all going to be buttons. So, but I've got them working now, so it's all good. I was kind of being a complete noob and trying to put a command inside the button, like a whole kind of, like this bit here is where the button calls the function that I need it to do, and I was actually trying to put sort of like a whole command. So you see this command here, what it does, you press a button, it calls a function, and then the function's down here. This bit here is what the function actually does, which is, you can kind of read what it says, which is switch state, like I was saying, different states of the game, to play state, which is a different state that I've created here, which is where the main game's going to be. So what I was trying to do was put in like switch state yada yada into the button, which is the wrong way of doing it. So long explanation, simple answer, still fiddly and annoying, messing about with it, trying to remember how to do it, and crawling through a couple of web pages and documentation and stuff, trying to find the right command. And then I was also messing about with the random function, and I think the documentation I was reading was out of date, because it was saying the random function was stored in, you see a lot of things that you call, like this is a function here called mouse, and it's stored in a group called FLXG, and the random function is also stored in FLXG, so you have to put flxg.random, and but the documentation I was reading was saying it was, which I guess is maybe just out of date, was saying it was stored in FLXU, so I was putting FLXU and trying to work out why it didn't work, but the function wasn't in that folder, so that's why it didn't work. But it's all sorted out now, so buttons and random numbers and displaying text are the main things I need for my RPG, so I think I'm on track now, and I'm going to go and make some more tea, and I will see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's 20 to 1 now, so I started figuring quite a bit out, and I found some new fancy commands for some of the text, so I can make the text a bit more interesting than just white, and I can change its colour and stuff, which will be important, I think, in the layout of the game, so it's not just all white text. However, I'm having problems with buttons again. Like, the buttons on the main menu are working, and then the buttons in the bit of my game that I've done so far are not working, and I've no idea why. I'm declaring them in exactly the same way, but something is different. Something is interfering with them, so I'm trying to figure it out. It's a bit frustrating, but it's probably yet another really simple, obvious thing that I've just overlooked once I worked out what it is. And but I'm not too frustrated just yet, because if I can work out what the problem is And again, like I was saying before, the whole game's going to revolve around buttons. So if I can completely get my head around them and know exactly what to do and all the ins and outs and extra functions and stuff, then I'll be able to make the entire game very quickly and easily, and not have any coding problems, and just concentrate on designing it and everything. So hopefully I'll work out what's going on soon, and then I can really get on with actually making the game. So I'll see you in a bit. Very quick update, it's 10 to 1, and I've just found out the answer to my problem. It's a little something I added in. I thought I was going to need to override the update to make the game update the results every time I click the button, but it seems that Flixel, because Flixel is awesome, does that automatically. So because I'd tried to override it, it messed up the button, when actually I don't need to do anything and the button will just function on its own, which is brilliant and makes coding the game even easier. Now I've realised I was basically overthinking it and trying to do more than I needed to and messing it up. So anyway, it's all sorted and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, very quick update. I've worked out the best way that I can see of doing global variables for statistics and stuff, which means I can switch states and it will remember the player's character level and stuff between different states of the game, which is obviously essential so that you don't go in and out of combat and it forgets, you know, how much experience you've got or whatever. So obviously that's very important, which now that's sorted, it means I can map out the game with every part of the game in a different state, which is the simplest way of programming it, I think, for me anyway. In some ways it's more simple, in some ways it's more complicated, but it's the way I want to do it. So I'm quite happy with that. So you can see here, these are the player statistics starting out with. Things like attack and defense and HP here. This is max HP and current HP and level experience and 2 next level. And I think I might keep it as that. I think I might avoid putting magic in. Yeah. So I'll see, because obviously the whole theme is minimalism, so I want to keep it minimal and simple. So I'm going to start with this anyway and see how it plays once I throw up some monsters and stuff. And I'll see you in a bit. Hey everyone, so it's 3 o'clock now. So I've been doing this for about 5.5 hours. So, oh, I missed the title screen there. Let's just refresh that. So, title screen. So I've got buttons going between different states of the game. That's all working fine. I've got statistics coming from a global class or another class, so that all the different states can pull them up. None of the combat actually works yet, but I've also been messing about with bringing up separate messages and hiding and showing buttons within the same state, depending on what's going on. So attack and run are still there, they're just invisible, and next is visible, and then it switches back again and makes the these are going to be the for the moment, these are going to be the combat results. So it's like Dave does 5 damage, Rat does 1 damage, or whatever. So okay, so that's it so far. I'm going to like put in the actual combat mechanics now, get some random rolling and stuff. So I will see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so now that I've worked out all the bugs that I needed to, I'm getting into the flow of it a lot more. So I've been working on the combat system a bit. So here it is. At the moment it's very simple still, and it's just, you're just hitting for the amount that your attack is, and it's being reduced by the amount of the defense of the person being hit. So I'll randomize it a bit more later, or maybe in a bit. But at the moment I'm making all the different states that you need. So at the moment I've just finished. I'll demonstrate if I just hit attack. So you can see the hit points are going down, and we've got the little combat messages, which I spent far too much time deciding exactly what they should say, believe it or not, because I was thinking, should it be da hits rat 4 such and such damage? You can see I've actually added in 4 lines now when I started with only 2. And at the moment what happens is we'll just kill the rat, and then those 2 lines change colour and give that instead, and of course the rat doesn't get hit in. I'm not sure if I'm going to put in the speed stats so that sometimes the monster goes first. I don't think I will though. This is where it's going to start getting challenging, is with the minimalism theme, is how do I keep the combat interesting and fun, but without adding in too many things, because if I add in too many elements then it won't be minimalist anymore. So anyway, so that's what we've got so far, and we've only got that win state, and that goes just straight back to the town at the moment. I think I'm going to add in a win state, so like an extra screen, so that counts up your experience so far and your gold so far, and there's also going to be a screen for when, if you die, you go to that screen and you have to start again. So that's what I'm working on next before I start really getting into the combat. I'm going to make sure that sort of like the very basics are there with winning and losing, and experience screen afterwards and all of that business. So I will see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's now 5 o'clock, so I've been working on it for 8 hours, and so I've added in, if we go to a fight, the first thing you'll notice is that when I win, it doesn't have experience and gold on this bit anymore. I've added in a victory screen for the battles. So this is currently lying. So you'll notice it says the same thing next time as well. So I haven't added in just a little extra bit of code where it really does give you a piece of gold and it really does give you the experience. So it's just pretending to at the moment. So it's just laying out the messages, and the level up bit, so I might change that to level up to level 1 or whatever. That will be, on most occasions when you don't level up, that will be hidden, and the till next level message will be in place on top of that, will be there, I think. And in the cases when you do level up, it will be shifted down like this. So anyway, so I'm quite pleased with that, and I'll just quickly one ourselves out. So see, it says the same thing again because it's lying. And then if we lose, I've done a little losing screen that returns you. I might put a bit more information on here so that it's not so crushing. So I can say like total gold collected over the entire game or whatever. And that returns you to the menu screen, which actually I messed about for a bit to make sure that it resets the game, because I actually had the code in the wrong place, so that when you restarted the game from here, you were still dead, kind of thing. So that wasn't great, but I've fixed that so that now when you restart the game, it is a complete reset, and all the details will be reset. And so I guess I need to add in a bit for character creation, so you can add in your own name. But that's later down the road or whatever. So anyway, so I'm quite pleased with that, and I'll see you in a bit. Hey everyone, so I've added in all the statistics on the town screen so that you can. I had to do that first before making sure that the victory screen told the truth, because there was previously no way of actually checking your stats and stuff. So I figured the best, I was almost put like a character tab on this screen that you'd have to go to, and then I figured no, you want to see it all the time, so you know what's going on, and you know when you need healing and stuff, because this is eventually there'll be a button to heal here as well, have a rest in the town. So so here's all the statistics here, and I've changed HP to green, and it's green in the battle as well. If I have time, I'm going to add in extra code so that as you lose health, it changes to orange and then to red. But I'll do that. I'll do that later. It's on the to-do list, but it's not essential to make the game work. So if we just have a quick battle, I'll show you the experience. Okay, and I've made the rats give us 7 experience for the moment, so there's way more experience than you deserve for them. But we can't heal, so I had to give it lots of experience so that I could see that the level up system was working. So I have 7 experience, 3 experience till next level. As you can see, there's oh yeah, that doesn't quite work actually. What that's meant to be is I've put that 7 experience and I put it out of till next level, but till next level goes down. So that might be a bit confusing. I was kind of thinking that it would be the total you needed. Okay, I'm going to have to change it about a bit. But maybe if I just add them together, then it will make sense. So anyway, that's 1 kill. And then if we just kill another, then it will bring us up to 14. So I wanted to check it that it went over, because I've created a loop for for dealing with the excess experience when you level up, to make sure you don't lose it, make sure it doesn't just reset it to 0. But also in doing that, I've made it a while loop, so that if you get multiple levels at once, you get all of them, because that's the most potentially confusing bit, especially like later in the game. Or early in the game, if you find some way of killing some really big monster, I want to make sure the player's rewarded for that. So, and I don't sort of like, it doesn't break or something if you gain more than 1 level at a time. So, 36. Yes, so that goes over to 14. And then the next, to get level 2, it'll be 40. The amount of experience you need for each level is the level you want to level up to, squared, and then times by 10. So for level 1 you need 10, 1 times 1 times 10. Level 2 you need 2 times 2 times 10, 40. Level 3 you'll need 90. And the reason I have that squared is so that it gets exponentially bigger. Is exponentially the right word? But the monsters you're fighting, their experience will be going up as well. So it will all make sense. And that's the quickest way I could think of doing it, where it will get really ridiculous in the higher levels, but it's the best way I could think of doing it, where it will just automatically generate the amount needed for the next level, rather than me having to plan out and like keep a list of how much experience you need for each level. Anyway, so I've leveled up to 1, so that's cool. That means you also gain 20 HP. I'm not sure whether you should auto heal or not when you level up. I think maybe you shouldn't. But you gain the extra health and then you can rest to get it back. So there you go. So that's all sorted for the moment, and I will see you in a bit. Hi everyone. So I've added resting in. You can rest for 1 gold in exchange for 1 hit point. I kind of wanted it to. I tried out having a timer so that you had to wait to heal up, but the timer was messing everything up, and that was meant to be kind of the sacrifice for healing, was you had to wait for a minute. But I think gold's maybe a better sacrifice, especially later in the game, when you'll have lots of hit points, so you can decide how much to heal up and how much gold to keep. And also, yeah, and it doesn't mess up because I can just do it with a button and there's no timer involved. And so I worked out, as you can see, the hit points are yellow at the moment. I worked out how to make it change colour, and I actually worked out really quickly. It was a lot simpler than I thought it would be when I actually tried it out. I thought, oh, wait a minute, and then thought I won't go into details, but it's very simple. And so if we just, I also found this really cool effect where the screen shakes slightly. So I've got a small shake on each attack, and then when I kill the rat in a minute, boom. So when there's some sound effects as well, I think that's going to be really cool. It feels pretty cool already. And then that's what's leveled up. And then, yeah, so I've got another gold now, so I can just demonstrate this. So it goes up one. Not enough gold to really heal up properly at the moment. But I'll rebalance that later when I'm actually designing the content. I'll balance it so you're making enough gold to heal as you go through. So that's all for now. Oh yeah, I've also added a shop tab as well, but there's nothing in there yet, but it's just another game state ready and then yeah, shop is going to be very simple. I think I'm just going to have what I've been planning since the start is to just have, you can just buy the next weapon or the next armor, so there's not like a huge range and picking and switching in and out armor because of the minimalist theme. I just figured is more really that you're just upgrading, and that'll just upgrade your defense and attack number, and I think leveling you'll just gain hit points and not attack and defense. Okay, so that's all for now. I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, it's 20 to 9 now, so I'm coming up to the 12-hour mark, at least from when I began. And one little thing that I didn't think I was going to manage to do, but I have, is entering the name, because I thought it would be very simple to do. I thought there'd just be a command for it in Flixel, and Flixel doesn't actually have text input boxes. I think it's something to do with it clashing with the graphical style or something. But anyway, I'm not entirely sure why. But so I did a very hacky way of, I basically have this name input screen at the beginning, which detects all the letters on the keyboard. So there must be a quicker way of doing it, but I've literally got a little string of code for every letter on the keyboard, and there's no spaces, maximum 8 letters that I allow the player to put in, and I also didn't have time to properly work out how to delete from the string because I'm doing it all manually. So when you press backspace, it just clears the entire name. So if you make a mistake, you can just clear it. But I think it's fair enough. You should be able to type your name, and I don't think there's that many names longer than 8 letters. So I didn't really think about it. I actually picked 8 letters because it's what fits on the interface cleanly. So that's the reason it's maximum 8 letters. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So that means there's now name. You can now enter your name and have it just slightly personalised. It's not exactly in-depth character creation, but I think it's nice to have your name, especially as it's used all the time in fights and stuff. So there you go. So I'll carry on, and I'll see you in the next clip. Hi everyone, it's now 25 past 9. So I'm just going to show you first off, now with the name, now I have a name entering system. I realised I can do cheat codes, which, as well as being fun, allow me to test the game quicker by giving myself certain things in order to test the game. So the first cheat code I've done is planking. So if you're watching this, there's a nice little Easter egg for you. You can go and use it yourself. Now, planking is going to give me a whole bunch of gold at the beginning. The reason it's planking is a reference to Jay-Z's lyric, planking on a million. So there you go. But I decided I needed this cheat code because I've started the shop. So here's the shop here. So I need lots of money to test that the upgrading system works, and it does. So you've got 4 and 5 there, 4 and 5 there, and it stays in place. And the pricing system of the items is the same as the experience system, as in it's the next number squared times by 10. So I might change it at some point, same as the experience system, when I balance it, but for the moment that's the system in place, and it's, you know, it's good to have an algorithm so that it I'm not actually having to sit down with a spreadsheet. It's got it naturally makes up the numbers itself, and then the algorithms either works or it doesn't, and if it doesn't, if it's not balanced, then I can just alter the algorithm until it feels right. So it's took a little while. I'm thinking if I have time later that instead of having weapon level for each number, I will have a list of weapon names. So some of which comical, so it will be like different. It will say what your weapon is and what your armor is, and it will just be like upgrade, and then you'll get a different name instead. But I'll add that in later if I have time, because that's obviously just an extra little joke thing. And I'll see you in the next clip. Hi everyone, it's 10:30 now, and what I've done is I've changed fight into explore, and then I've added multiple locations. Oh, actually, I was just about to say I want to add in a 5th, but actually maybe 4 is enough, as they kind of fill up the menu there. Anyway, so each town sewer is where the rats are. That's the first one, and so we've got the title here of the location instead of combat now. And so each location has a different colour. I've just changed the colours. That pink is a bit bright, actually. I'll change that. There's dark woods, and you'll notice at the moment they all have rats in, but in the code, that's just because I've copy and pasted. But this will basically mean that there'll be different monsters in each location, and they'll be harder as you go down the locations. And Volcano will have like dragons and stuff in it. Okay, so Volcano looks alright. Let's just have a quick look at the colours while I'm here. Ice Caves, maybe change the background blue, and yeah, and the woods, change the background as well. And the other thing is when you I've changed the end of the fight, so when you finish a fight, it gives you 2 options. One of them is to go back to town, which was the default before, but now I've got this thing of different locations. The other one is continue, which puts you straight into another fight, which I could also use to have bigger and badder monsters if you continue several times in the same location. Then it's like you go deeper into the location, and maybe have some kind of indication of that on the screen, and there'll be badder monsters the further in you go, and maybe you can find treasure or something like straight away. If you like defeat a couple of monsters, maybe there's some treasure just lying there as a reward. So there's a couple of options I could go with, and I think I've got enough to defeat another rat. So there we go. So anyway, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm still thinking maybe I will add potions and magic in. I can't decide. We'll see. Now I need to go back to town to heal. So it's starting to turn into something that I'm quite happy with, that I actually want to play. So I keep on having to pull myself away to get on with coding it more. But multiple locations means I've now got I can now put in different monsters. I can at least put 1 different monster in each location to start off with, and then I can add in code to have more monsters in in each location, and then it's just a case of making the game bigger and better. So, I'll see you later. Hi everyone, hope the lighting's a little bit better in this clip. I keep on looking back and seeing my face is really bright. Anyway, it's 11:30 PM now, so I'm probably going to go to bed quite soon, and I'm going to go for a swim tomorrow morning, I think, before I get going again. So I feel like I've made some decent progress today for the first half. I'm very happy with the game so far. I've got my name, enter my name, and then a couple of things I've just done is, actually, if I back out of there for a moment, I'll show you. I've put one creature in each of the locations. They get bigger in most of their stats by a factor of 10. So I've just added a 0 on each one, which is a bit extreme. But I think in the long run, I mean, I can always even it out again later. But, yeah, that's what I've done, basically. And I've adjusted the buttons. So this button's been moved down to here. There's also no next button, so you can just click, 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 smash the monsters, which is a lot more fun. You still have to keep an eye on your health, though. Don't be risky. So I think that's quite good, actually, because it's really fun doing that, but it actually makes the game slightly more challenging because you can get carried away. However, talking about challenging, one of the things I decided to do, I thought it's a bit harsh getting instantly killed by the next mob up, especially as I've made them so powerful at the moment. And I was trying to think of a way of making it more fair, and I was thinking, well, I could display their attack and defense, but that would be a bit boring. So what I did instead was I've made it so you don't die anymore, except you do die, but you lose, instead of game over and losing all of your progress, you just lose half of your gold, which I figure is quite fair, especially later on. That would be quite a lot of gold. And I can always adjust that amount as well. I can always make it more gold, like 75% or something, if half isn't enough. But I feel like half should be enough to be a considerable blow, but at the same time also allow people to experiment and attempt. Oh, I'm going to need to sort out the health, aren't I? So maybe you'll resurrect with HP 1. I'll have to change that now. I didn't realise that. But I think that'll be enough to make death meaningful, but still allow people to kind of attempt the next mob up or whatever, wherever they are, when they feel they're ready, rather than being scared to, because you might lose loads and loads of gameplay. I might add in a save function tomorrow, but I'm not really sure how much people are going to play it. I'll probably try and balance the game down a bit, maybe, so it can be completed in a couple of hours, maybe, for people who really want to play it. I'm going to have to decide about that. I'm not entirely sure. So obviously, if it takes a long time to complete, I really should put in some kind of save functionality. So anyway, I'm probably not going to do anything major on it for the rest of this evening. I'm probably going to go to bed. I'm just going to fix that HP thing when you resurrect now. So I will see you tomorrow. Hi everyone, so it's 20:01 on Sunday. So I had a nice long sleep, and I went for a swim this morning, and I'm back home, and I've kind of got ready and had a cup of tea and eaten some food. So there's 14 hours, 18 minutes and 42 seconds to go until the deadline. So I'm happy with the state of the game so far. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is do sound effects and music, and so that they're in there, and then maybe do some graphics. I'm a bit worried that there's no graphics, partly because of the minimalism theme. It's all text-based so far, maybe I should have a couple of graphics, or maybe I should purposely not have any graphics. I think maybe I should have some pixel backgrounds, like boxes for the various things, and then a kind of suggestive background like for each location to kind of illustrate that location. Possibly, I'm not sure. But yeah, I need to. Most of today I'm going to be adding on polish and balancing and adding content. I don't think I'm going to be adding any more features, although I might add potions for healing in battle, which should be pretty quick to add in, and I might add in magic, but I'm not sure. I need to keep it simple if I do, so maybe I just have 4 spells, like 4 elements or something. No, that's too complicated already. They just have like a magic blast spell that does damage that you can, I don't know, level up. Yeah, level up, and maybe it's more powerful than a normal attack, but I'll add in magic points, mana points. I don't know. I don't want to make it too complicated. But on the other hand, I do want it to be fun and slightly varied, but still keeping it minimal. I think it stays minimal from just being the way it is at the moment. There's no sort of like moving around a town and stuff. The fact that it's just clicking on buttons makes it minimal, and the fact I've put it in a really small window makes it minimal, possibly. But anyway, either way, I'm going to do sounds and music first. So I will find the stop button and I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's 20 to 4 now, and so it's been a bit of a gap since I last recorded, but what I did was I went and recorded all the music. So I've got a music for the town and every location, and I've also got sad music for when you die, and I've also got a kind of chimey music for the title screen, which I might also use for winning, because that's the only tune that I couldn't get what I wanted for it. I've been using this website called Audio Sauna, which is really good. Basically has like synthesizers and stuff, and then you can actually write the music here, you see, like that, and then and then it plays. So so a bit of expert composition there. I took a little bit more care when making the tunes for what I wanted, but I might see if the chimes feels like it fits with winning. If it doesn't, then I'll come back and try and make. So I want a kind of fanfare kind of thing, and suddenly realised fanfares are quite hard to write, at least for me. I couldn't quite get the feel I wanted, so I might go back to it later or in a couple of minutes, but now I'm going to just go and add the music into the game and see how it feels. So I will see you in a bit. Hi everyone, I've added in the music to all the locations, so I'm happy with the results. As for the fanfare, I realised the fights, at least at the moment, are so quick that it seems a bit silly to have a fanfare like every 3 seconds. So I just let the location music run on. And then there's a little bit of problem with all the location music restarting due to kind of reloading the state at the beginning of every fight. But I think once it's a bit more balanced and the fights maybe take a moment or two longer, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And it's not really a problem, it's just me being a perfectionist thing. I think most people probably won't care. And they'll just get used to it as they play as well, and just see it as part of, oh, it's the beginning of a new fight, the tune starts again. So what else? I think that was all. I had a little bit of a hassle getting the files to embed, and then I realised that I was overcomplicating it as I was before, and that actually it could see where the files were, and I was writing in a great long location address for the file, and it didn't need it. So now I just need to do the same thing again with sounds. I think I'll probably do most of the sounds just in real life with a microphone and add those in, and I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it is 5:45 now, and I've added in the sound effects. I made a couple with a microphone with my mouth, and I've added them in, and so I'm not entirely sure what to do now. I mean, I think I'm going to do maybe some graphics backgrounds. Generally, the whole game needs balancing and more monsters adding and stuff. I'm kind of hoping to finish polishing it first, though, and then do that up until the deadline, like balancing the game. I could also... I guess I do have time to possibly add in potions and magic. I think with potions, I could definitely keep that simple and just have you press a button and it heals you. And it's just one type of health potion and that's it. And I mean, most games have mana potions as well if I do add in magic, but I don't think I'll do that. I think you can only get that back from resting, and it'll just be a magic button which you'll hit, and it'll just do a magic attack, and you only have a certain number. And maybe that's something you can level up as well. And it'll be like 10 times more than your normal attack or something. I'll have a think about it. So yeah, actually I'll probably add that in first before I do backgrounds as well, actually, because if I do then do backgrounds, if those things are added to the shop, then I've got to bear that in mind. The game kind of the functions of the game I need to be finished before I add in backgrounds, so I know what the backgrounds need to fit. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'll get on. It's 5:50, so I guess I've got just over 9 hours until the full-on deadline. So I better get cracking. Hi everyone, so it's 7:15 now, and I've just finished adding in the extra features that I was talking about, and testing them and ironing out the bugs and things that I'd forgotten. So I've added in a mage shop. I've turned rest into inn and shop into blacksmith, and so I can also have a mage shop and there's no confusion. I've reused the blacksmith code in a really hacky way and just changed it to health potions, which are always 100 gold, and magic points, which you can upgrade how many magic points you have. And then when you rest in the inn now heals all of your HP and magic points. I might change the price to 10 gold, but to make it a bit more balanced, but we'll rest for the moment anyway. So that brings up our magic points. So if we jump into a battle, normal attacks are as normal, and magic does twice the damage, and you can see the MP's gone down by 1. And then I think there's currently no message if once you run out of magic, it just doesn't work. Potions heal you. They heal you up to 100 points. So, but what's happened is I've taken a potion and then you then get hit by the monster. So that's why it's gone up to 9 instead of 10. But that's all working fine. It tells you how many potions are left. I was thinking of maybe squeezing it onto the screen, but obviously there's not a lot of room left. It was quite a push to add on mana points and then, or magic points or whatever you want to call them, and then add in these buttons down here, which does kind of cut off this message here as well, but just about all fits in. So I figured, well, you just need to know how many potions are left, and when you drink all of them, the button just simply doesn't work. Okay, so that's all for now. I'll see you in the next clip. Hey everyone, so it's now 9:15, and I've just started messing about with randomizing the monsters in the game, as I figured it would be quicker than making a list of monsters. Is I'll have kind of base stats, as you can see here, for the monsters in each area, and then I'll have random prefixes to their name. I'm thinking of maybe having different base stats for each type of monster, but either that or they will be the same to save time. There are different prefixes, so it's like if it's big, then it's got double health points and stuff like that. So, but sometimes it might just be nothing, like that one there would. If it rolled that, then nothing happens. So I think, yeah, having like lots of randomized monsters will be quicker than like designing lots of monsters. So that's what I'm going to do for each area. And I'm thinking of also... I also added in some more sound effects. So I have a sound effect for magic, which is different to normal hitting, and I have a money sound effect for when you buy stuff, which I got a couple of coins and just like drop them into my hand. So that's that kind of coins like clattering together, like, which sounds really cool, rattling. And what else? And I also I did like a gulping sound for when you drink potions. So that's quite good. I'm happy with those, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to put any kind of graphics as such into the game, and I know one of the categories in the judging is naturally graphics, but I think because the theme this time is minimalism, I think I'll probably not suffer too much for not having any graphics, because there's going to be a lot of games that effectively have no graphics, that are just going to be a box on a white background and stuff. So it's going to be interesting how people actually grade graphics. And if anything, you can say like the different colours. I could have all the textures white, but I have taken some effort like making all the text different colours and stuff. So hopefully that counts for something. I might mess around with some special effects polishing at the last minute, especially on the title screen. I might see if I can have some kind of like particles falling in the background or something. Might be quite nice, but I'll see. It's not vital at the moment. I kind of want the game to feel a bit more finished, so I'm doing the monsters and then I'll try and balance them up a bit, and then it'll feel more like a finished game. Fingers crossed. So I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's 9:30, and so it's only about 45 minutes since my last recording, and I just had one of those kind of moments when lots of ideas came flooding in at once. So I started randomizing the monsters. I then had 4 types of monsters for each level. I decided to put their names in order of difficulty in case I actually got to doing something with that, and then I realised that I could do something with that, and long story short, I've created an extra variable which is what level you're on. So every time you go to a location, it resets it to level 1, and luckily it's a tough rat, which means he's got increased defense, but you can't do 0 damage anymore. So even if the defense is really high, you still do 1 damage, which at the moment with the current balancing is okay. So we killed that rat. Now instead of continue, it says go deeper, and it will now be level 2. And after 10 levels, which I'm not going to get that far, it then changes to the next monster type. I might mix it up even more so that it has a possibility of spawning the weak... Actually, no, I don't think I will, because you can always get the weaker monsters by starting the location again. But yeah, I'm going to kill another, and then we go deeper, and it's level 3. You get the idea. And then the other thing I've done, which I can't show you right at the moment, but each monster type is then actually harder, and I did that by simply having the same base stats and multiplying them. So that might be balanced, it might not be. I think it might not be in the terms of the way that defense works. I might need to make defense a bit less on the tougher monsters so that they're killable. But basically it means there's now 16 monster types which do actually have an order of difficulty rather than being just random names for 4 different difficulties. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to keep on going. I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's 10:45 now, so there's 4.25 hours left. Let's see, 4.25. It's getting a bit tense now because I'm just balancing and making the game a little bit better, but I'm having to decide whether I want to submit it or not yet, because I don't just yet, but I'm wondering how close to the deadline I'm going to push it. But what I've just been doing is randomising the damage a little bit, which makes it a lot more interesting, so that the damage is slightly different every time. It basically goes from 75% to 125%, and just picks a random spot in between every time. It's tempting to put crits in as well, but maybe I will. I might do that now, but I might just leave it because it's pretty good as it is, and I should just concentrate on seeing if the game is balanced. And then I still want to do something to spruce up the title screen somehow if I just reload, because it's a bit boring at the moment. And then after that I might just go ahead and submit it, because I don't think it's going to get much better than it currently is. Hey everyone, so I've just been playtesting a bit more to balance the game, and I realised that what I thought wasn't a problem with the music repeating or restarting instead of looping constantly actually gets really annoying when you're playing it. So I have actually gone back and managed to reorganise it in a better way to fix it, so that it actually carries on looping and you can just keep on going, and the music doesn't keep on restarting every 5 seconds. So it's a lot nicer now, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Unfortunately, I haven't really found... I thought there might be a quick way to make like flying stars or something on the menu screen that's a little bit more fiddly than I thought it would be. I have just put a shadow on the menu screen on the words so far. I might keep on looking now. It's 11:30, so I've got 3.5 hours left, and I think I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty happy with the actual gameplay, so I might keep on playing a little bit more. I'm trying to think how important the menu screen is when people only go see it for a few seconds, and if they're clicked on the game, then they're gonna click through and at least play 30 seconds of the game. They're not gonna see that. They're not going to take the trouble of clicking on the game, seeing the menu screen, and then not continuing. I think they're going to at least click start and put in their name and then play the game a bit and see the actual game. Another thing that bugs me is I really like the music on the woods more than I like the music on the sewers. Hey, I could switch it. That'd be quite a big undertaking though. But I could make the dark woods the first thing and then turn, instead of sewers, make it swamps or something and make it the second location. It's very tempting. That would be a major overhaul. But I do just like the music in the dark woods so much better. I think it gives a better opening impression when you first start playing the game. But anyway, that's something to consider. So I'm going to carry on. I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, so it's 1:45 in the morning now, and so there's 1 hour 15 left, I think. Yeah, so about half an hour ago I decided that I'd had enough, and so I uploaded my game and everything, and then realised there was still a bug in it from something I just added, so then I went back and fixed that bug, and now I have submitted the game. And the thing I added that incidentally has a bug, or had a bug, I fixed it now, is I've added names to the item levels. So at least for the first 10 levels. And then item 11 is just called Ultimate Weapon and Ultimate Armor, but you can still upgrade them, and the damage number and the defense number you can still see go up in the brackets when you get to that item. But I'll be surprised if anyone does get to that item quickly, because I mean this is with cheats and you can't get there quite that high just yet. So it's definitely like higher up in the game, which I'm not sure how many people are going to get that far. But if it is popular and people do play that far, then maybe I'll upgrade the game a bit more in the future for fun. But we'll see. So there you go. So that's like, oh, I did get to Ultimate Weapon. Anyway, playing legitimately is unlikely that you'll get that far. So it's all submitted now. I think I'm happy with it. Of course, I've got ridiculous weapons now, haven't I? That's why I did so much damage. Let's go to the woods instead. Oh, I don't have enough health to win, or do I? Oh, I do. Okay. You might have noticed the other thing I added was just a little blurb here, just to explain that the different levels are different difficulties, so that people don't jump into ice caves and think the game's too hard. And I think that's everything. So I hope you enjoy the game. There'll be a link in the description of this video, I'm sure, and feel free to use planking as a cheat, as a little bonus Easter egg for actually watching this blog that I've recorded along the way. And I'm feeling very, very tired, so I'm not sure how much longer I'll stay up, but I am tempted to have a look at some of the other early submissions before I go to bed. And that's all for now. I'll see you later.